Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the first match of Season 54. And we begin this season in Kyber 2 in the upper portion of the lowest third of the division. This is the lowest we've been in a few seasons. As recently as the end of Season 52, we hit Kyber 1. We punched up to that level. We only have 6 GLs, and we're not going to compete at Kyber 1 at that level, but we know we can at least get there. Season 53, though, was a rough season for me, and we had just some terrible brackets. And I think one of the issues, we had unfavorable data crons. It's not great for my roster, but the biggest issue is since January, I have been going into my matches blind, just playing them, seeing what happens, and that gets me painted into a corner sometimes with some of the decisions I make, and that was definitely happening in 3v3. So the big adjustment we're making is we've made a plan. This is used to be the standard here, but I got a little lazy. So we are going back to the old ways of some serious preparations. With our bracket breakdown, you're going to see me have a lot of advantages here, which is a nice change from what we've been dealing with at the high end of Kyber 2. Now that we're back down here, we should be beating up on some of my opponents, which is what we usually do when we are at this range. Now, GP wise, I'm in the upper half. You can see I'm beating my opponent and a couple of the other counts on screen. This guy here, CRON, he's probably the strongest account in the bracket. He's definitely taken most of this stuff seriously. Zetas, this is another place where I have advantages over almost every other account except for CLON and a couple other guys. GLs, there are 3 players with 7 GLs. The rest are at 8 and I'm at 6. That is one of the metrics where I'm always or almost always going to be the lowest. Same with relic units. You can see I'm at 159. I'm lowest of the bracket. Everyone else is in this 180 to 210 range, but my opponent not that far off from me. That should be very competitive. You can see same deal with depth. I've got a lot of depth. This isn't a huge deal at this point, but it's something where in Kyber, at the high end of Kyber 2, we were seeing everybody having similar depth to me. Relic distribution, same deal. You can see I actually beat my opponent when it comes to the overall top relics. He's beating me with tier 3, so his relics are weaker than what my relics are, and that is somewhat similar with the rest of the bracket except for CLON again. CLON has very strong relics. Mod wise, I'm number 3 with our top 25 average at plus 26.08. There's another guy at 26.8, another player at 26.36. Top 500 mod average, I am number 2. One guy off screen is at 19.24 and I am at 18.68. You can see count wise, my opponent is very shallow. And this is a representative of example of when I say a bad 5-dot mod is a bad 6-dot mod, because he is crushing me with the counts, but his averages are lower. These aren't terrible. This is pretty good, but in terms of his counts, that is where I am most concerned about. His averages are solid, but I am just lapping him with the specific counts because he has probably some 6-dot mods that aren't really worth it. Datacrons, this bracket is pretty good. I would say almost everyone is taking them seriously, and really my opponent, I would say he's taking them seriously, but he is one of the weaker collections of Datacrons. One player without Leia, one player without Lord Vader, one player without Sith Eternal Emperor, and I am of course without Rey and SLKR. My opponent has everybody. Ami portion, he's got a decent Malgus. Looks like triple Ami. That's gonna be hard to read. 282 speed, things looking good. Raddus, Ami, Iden, Starkiller, a little slow on the Starkiller. You can't be touching the keyboard, cat. Wampa is acceptable. No dash Ami. He's got Savage, Traya, no Afra. 4 players in this bracket without Afra. That is the difference between the high end of Kyber 2 and the low end. Now we're looking at, we got Qui-Gon, Swolo, we got Azori. You can't touch. Third sister, and he does not have third sister. 2 players in the bracket, no third sister. And you can see Yanzor here has a weaker one that's not going to be very strong. 1 player without Malicos. My opponent though has a Malicos, and we are looking at, there's only 3 Baudelaires in this bracket. I mean, it's not that surprising. It's just during the time of most people having her. I've been playing in that high-end Kyber 2 pool, so I've just been used to seeing players with her. So to see an account without is just notable. And then 2 players without Bane, and Cal Kestis, 2 players without, my opponent being 1. Then ship-wise, he looks good on the capital ships, but there is an account in here without the Leviathan, and there are 2 accounts in here without the Profundity, and there's a couple people who don't have full stars on either. Taking a look at his mod quality, maybe, we'll see. We're looking for crux here. Clicking too fast. All right, we got 15, 20, 25-ish. Crux is at 299, and he only has 25 characters. Padme is the last one at 301 speed. So I've got an advantage of like 10 characters, so you can see some of the ones like Crux, Fallen, Grand Inquisitor, Malgus, Vader, like even 000, Han, Scout, Rex, like the Chewies. A lot of characters I would like to have faster, fallen below that threshold. Marin looks way too fast. Marin shouldn't have speed on her because she gets her turn. There's mechanics within her kit. She can have some speed, but she should be slow. Starkiller's looking slow. And then you can see the characters above the threshold. For the most part, they're fine. A lot of the characters that need to be there, but that's about it. But I like to look at that as just an indicator of seriousness. It doesn't always mean things, and sometimes players can actually be harder. Like, we're going to do one, and it might be annoying, because if we do things like going up, like using a Starkiller counter, sometimes what it means is the damage immunity doesn't come off when we want. Now, before we get into this, we need to break down my defense. I do want to thank Tract, who did remind me to change my datacrons, which I definitely would have forgot about, because I almost forgot about it with a reminder. So I did change the defense a little bit, but really I just threw on some datacrons. We got Qui-Gon here with the Kelleran, Leia here, I left on defense, although I did leave a lot of firepower on not a lot, but I left some counters that I think are going to make things a little complicated for me, because I might need some of these counters. We got Lord Vader with Ninth Sister and Ninth Sister CRON, Malgus with Sith Assassin in the CRON, and then we got CLS. I just threw on like high level 9 CRONs just for the stats on some of these. Like, they're not going to benefit too much from these stats, from the mechanics, but it's going to help a little bit. In the back wall, what we've got is JMK with Padme. That's probably going to be a very popular one during the lifespan of that CRON, because it is annoying, although it has counters like the Third Sister, which is why my Third Sister was taken off of defense, so that we have that option. Then we got Trench and Jabba. Jabba's another one where I don't know if I should have left him on defense, because I might want the flexibility. Because one of the things that I've talked about is I don't like to get stuck against Rey. And this is unchanged, because what I would like to do, what I've been saying that I want to do, is to use Bane up against Rey. But I don't know if I have the luxury, because I'm missing certain counters. On Mothma, we can Wampa that, we can Traya that. Starkiller here, we can Sidious. And I've set down my plan. I know he has a Leia on the back wall. So that really means Jabba is the problem, because Jabba we'd usually JMK. JMK's on defense. So that puts me into a scenario where we might have to try some things that may or may not work. I think what I'm going to do is use Third Sister there, because I don't think we need to use that counter elsewhere. And I like the win percentage up against Jabba more than I like the win percentage up against Leia, which I can't completely trust that data right now, because some of that is skewed by players not actually using the datacron, but whatever. All right, and then the rest, most of this, we've got counters, isn't going to be a big deal. But I think, actually, let us start with that counter, because Bane is going to be safe for Leia. You can't be touching the cords. Yeah, let's get to this. Now, there's other, like, we could also pick apart Jabba, and that's part of the reason why we're approaching Jabba like this, is I know that it'll be an option for me if things don't go well, that I can clean up Jabba. Jabba's a very easy cleanup. Like, we don't even have to use something this reliable. There are other ways through. Like, we could do Night Sisters and clean up with Mon Mothma. That'd be a very cheap way to do it, but it would be 2 attempts. So I'd rather try to do it in one with Third Sister and just clean it up with like Afra if we need to. Can you not touch the keyboard? You messed up matches before. Just messed up records. All right, let's get to the full screen and jump here. Looks like I gotta adjust BlueStacks a touch. All right. So I can't ignore taunt. Torture, my audio level's fine. 6 stacks of Purge, so it's basic. And you know what, let's Dispel, because that'll stop Lando from doing his thing. Well, AoE. Let's remove turn meter so Torture stays on. And now, do I want the... I think we want the AoE. Okay, this is good. It's basic. We're through Chrysanthemum. Let's take advantage of this moment. Awesome counter. Let's just basic through. This is just crushing. Awesome. Okay. I think this is just one of those things where the win rate is higher than what some of the data shows. Just that data was skewed by players trying things without the CRON or just not having the right speeds or characters or whatever. Because the win rate on Swuggle is like 86%. At 86%, I'm wondering. I would have felt it wouldn't have been so dominant. Because I did not do this last 5v5. Jeez, that just crushes. Alright, we're going to deal with Ray. I need to know how that match goes. That's the one I'm worried about. But in 5v5, it's easier. So we're gonna gamble with Starkiller. It should be fine. But again, what I worry about in these kinds of situations is opponents with slow mods. They can mess you up. You'll see what I'm talking about. Those damage immunities are going to stick. And then Ray is just going to get more opportunities to do some damage. Alright, let's clear the Foresight. Take that hit. We land a bunch of stuns. Let's get rid of the crit hit immunity with the Dispel. Triggered 1 damage immunity. Now, I want to land at least 1 shock. Okay. I don't like how few... Alright, let's do this. Okay, now we got 2 shocks. Now we're going to just extract health from everybody. Because I'm assuming he has the correct level 6. No, he has the wrong level 6. Never mind. We don't even need to be concerned. This is easy. Or it should be easier. We need to clear that though. Let's stun. Alright. I'd really love to not be behind this taunt though. Okay, good. We will just do our basics. Are you serious? Come on. Alright, let's put a stun on Finn. Alright, we gotta start making some progress. Here we go. Because I don't even think we got Ray into the yellow yet, have we? She is tanky. Are you kidding me? Come on, get there. Jeez. Alright, let's definitely do this right now. I don't feel good about it, but we're going to just heal up. And let's get a hit on Holdo. Hopefully we can get Holdo, like... Let's stun Swallow. Okay, Swallow's not going to be an issue. I need to be taking out Ray. What am I doing? Jesus. Come We're gonna just spread shocks. We gotta get debuffs. Come on. There we go. There's my debuffs. Let's get rid of the inspired. Ray, take your turn. Goodbye, Visas. Alright, finally on Holdo. Let's stun on Swallow. Let's take out Ray. There we go. Come on. There's the turn. There. Okay. We should be good for the rest of this match then. Because that was really the only thing I'm worried about. Because his crons here are weak. We can just start picking up some banners. So let's not do anything stupid like choose the wrong character. I want to re-roll that level 6 ability, but I'm out of mats. I'm tempted to use my crystals on it, but I need to replenish some crystals because I accidentally used a bunch of Gerda keypads on a accidental Relic 9, which you can see in the most recent roster update video. Alright, we get our AoE, we got 3 dots onto Palps. Alright, we AoE. The thing is, I like the level 6 ability I have in 5v5 because it does add a ton of recovery. But in 3v3, you just don't land as many dots as reliably. So I kind of didn't like it in 3v3. I think we're fine. I think we're just gonna, well, let's just Wampa this while we're here because this isn't even anything we care about. What are we looking for? And then we don't need anything that good. Let's just use this. Okay, Womps. Okay. I think let's just auto this for a little bit and then we'll talk like Acolyte because episode 4, I just watched. Well, here's where I've been on it. Episodes 1 and 2, they gotta fix this camera again. Alright, anyway. Episodes 1 and 2 had some issues, but overall, I liked it. I felt it was fairly promising. And overall, I think the show has some promising elements. Episode 3, though, was not good. It was way too long. It was very repetitive, where, like, the scenes with Osha and May, you had them basically repeat the same scene of them just bickering and disagreeing about like the Jedi or the Coven. That happened like 4 times. You only need to do that once, at most twice. To do it too many times, it just becomes annoying, particularly when the script was asking those actors to carry a lot of dramatic weight, and that's a lot for a child actor. May was a half-decent actor, or the child version. Osha, she was not as good. Now, I think it's the difficulties of you're hiring sisters that look alike, and they hired probably one because the one was a fairly strong actor. Yeah, but you need somebody that looks like her because they're trying to play twins, and you could feel the difference. And it's not their fault. I just think writers and the directors need to either not be scripting things that way or know that in editing they don't need to have that many scenes of the same information. I think we're just training this because I think we can be fairly mindless and then we can keep talking. I'm going to keep Savage. What do we want? No, I might do that to Do I want to add another? I guess we're throwing in Marauder for, I don't know why. I just am. But here's what I really didn't like. Like, that's a nitpick. That doesn't really matter. It's just structural problems that I would have preferred not to see. But here's what really bothered me. I don't like the version of the dark side that was being showed with the actor of Mate. Now that could be subject to did I want to? No, we don't need Savage. Because this worked before the Traya Ami was even a thing. Alright, I'm just taking a moment to see if I need to be managing anything or if we're good. I just added the relic to Traya, like, I think in the last video. This is one of my newest relics. I've been needing it for a long time, but it kind of fell into the luxury zone for me. Because it wasn't helping me toward a project. Which is actually something we talked about in one of the latest list videos about characters that are guaranteed to be a future prerequisite for a bigger project. Where I'm kind of shocked that Traya isn't one already. Alright, let's just eliminate Grand Inquisitor. We'll auto from here. Yeah, so here, it's something that I actually have to give credit to J.J. Abrams, who I kind of loathe in general, but one of the things Abrams did very well in The Force Awakens, well, The Force Awakens in general is solid, but what Abrams in particular did with his take on things is I really like how he depicted the dark side. Like how Kylo was acting, I think is a very convincing idea of how someone would actually be seduced by the dark side, struggle with the dark side, and also the type of person who would be prey to it. That's interesting to me. It's somebody who was envious and insecure, somebody who felt like power was going to fill in something that he was missing. Like the weakness within that character is what made the dark side seductive. That is very interesting. And what I didn't like about what Acolyte did in episode 3, and maybe it changes, is they made the dark side just evil. Like it's not interesting to me when it's just like black and white, good versus evil. That's just, there's nothing compelling about that. Now what was I gonna do here? I guess I could, this was another candidate. We're just gonna do Jedi because this was a candidate for something like Sidious, but oh, here's another situation where having an opponent with slow mods can mess you up. Do I need another Jedi? Let's bring in Ayla. Let's get a Datacron to make these guys a little better. Sure. It's not like it's a good Qui-Gon squad. Alright, so he's... See, this is what I mean. Like, you would mess up if you marked Qui-Gon right now. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move strategic advantage over to Yoda. That's all I want to do. So what you need to do is Anakin has to take his turn and use up his AoE. Now we can mark Qui-Gon. If I ever get a turn again with Revan. Okay. Yeah, so this is going well. Here's my mark. Now I can probably just auto from here, right? We got 2 tanks and an Ayla. Yeah, well, let's just auto and keep renting. Okay, so what you have with episode 3 is you basically just have May acting evil. Now there's some other interesting things going on. We're not gonna, actually I don't want to like spoil things for people who haven't watched yet. So I want to keep things very surface level. May was acting evil, and you have Osha acting light, and that dichotomy to me is not interesting. To have things that black and white, light versus dark, shades of gray is more interesting. I want to see things struggle. Now there are hints that is how the characters are going to function, but in that moment, the way episode 3 was working, not how the other episodes are working, but episode 3, it was approaching the Force in a way that I've just never been interested in. But that's to my own taste. I think I'm pretty safe, so we're just going to do JML here. What I'm expecting on the back wall is Dash, Iden, and Leia. So I think just a strong Jedi squad we'll take care of it. You know what, while I'm here, I made a video about why Luminara is going to be really important for the next raid, so be aware of that. Right now, let's grab, I guess I could grab this CRON, or I could grab my Jedinite Calcestis CRON. This is another one where I'd like to re-roll some stats. Do I want the protection? You know what, let's take this. Let's get in here. Alright, where did I leave off? Okay, so that's basically what I want to say about episode 3. Like, the way that I would break this stuff down is we have, I'd say, like, episodes 1 and 2 are like 7 out of 10s for me. Episode 3 is a 3 out of 10. Episode 4, though, is a little bit more complicated. But what we're seeing here is a larger theme, a larger problem, where this show is starting to feel like other Marvel shows, where it could have been a movie, and it probably should have been a movie. And that would have helped some of the issues. Or I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. All right, let's get rid of the debuffs. We're going to go with that first, not the armor shred. We'll blow everybody up. Okay, that's fine. Stun's not going to do anything right now. Need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Alright, we'll throw the armor shred over on Malgus. Not Malgus, Malik. Just see if we can take out Malik. There we go. Let's cleanse. Yeah, alright, we're good. Let's make sure we just do this last step correctly. We don't even have to use it. Okay. Alright, so episode 4. I like the end. The end was very strong. I don't even want to talk too much about it, in case you haven't watched yet. It was a very strong end. The problem is, everything preceding that probably could have been cut down to like 10 minutes. And it's also what could have happened to the last episode, where a lot of that episode could have been cut down. And you keep seeing this thing where Marvel, and not Marvel, Disney, because I want to include both Marvel and Lucasfilm, they keep stretching these things up to longer and longer to fill runtimes, and it doesn't matter. Like, nothing happens, and it's just not good filmmaking. Like, I might like both episodes more had they just been shorter and not full of so much fat and gristle, because it's not good. And we have this entire episode of just repeating conversations with low quality dialogue where nobody's talking about anything. You're not learning anything about the characters. You're not moving the plot forward. You're just having people say stuff, and it starts taking away from the show. And I gotta keep moving. Let's sure. So I would say overall that the episode wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good, and the ending saved it. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing right now. You know what? We are going to take the turn meter with the tenacity up, because I think all that's going to happen is we're just going to... I think we can get through Raddus pretty quickly if I remember this correctly. Yeah, alright. I think I can just auto the rest of this. What was my point? I'm losing track of things. This is why playing and talking is difficult. I do both poorly. Yeah. So, like, in episode 4, maybe 3 things that happened mattered. And this is kind of like my point. You could have taken it in episode 3 and 4, made one better episode instead of 2 mediocre to poor episodes. And I think it would have helped a lot. Also, one of the things that I'm noticing is 2 of the actors who I've liked in things that I've seen them before, because the director and creator of the series, Leslie Headland, she did Russian Doll, and I really like Russian Doll. That's a good show. I also am a sucker for time loops. But 2 of the actors, one is Yord, and the other one is the Jedi Council woman Vernestra or something like that. Some of it is the writing, but they cannot deliver genre lines. They feel very awkward to me with how they deliver the dialogue. It feels like they're saying the words for the first time. Now, I would say the writing, a lot of the dialogue in general, like, could be punched up. But I don't feel like about that way, like about the Padawan, like the young Padawan alien. I don't recall her name. She's fine. Like, seems like a believable, real character. What do we have here? So we got, no, I can't use Savage because Scout's here. How do we want to deal with this? Because there's no Leia, and I planned for Leia. I also just do Sith Eternal Emperor here. What Sith do we have? So I can bring in some... let's just bring in all the tanks. Let's bring in the firepower. Then we got... that's what we'll do there. We need an Empire. And I like Thrawn for these... we have... I need to punch up my defense. We still have a ton of stuff. We should do some testing. Because, to get back to the last point, what we have is a situation where just... who do I want to take? I'm going to play it like this, but I don't know. Maybe I want... other people. Okay, that's fine. That's basic. Like, you have certain actors can't do comedy, certain actors can't do action. These are dramatic actors, and they don't feel like they can do sci-fi. Every line of dialogue out of them is stilted. And it's become very noticeable to me. I don't feel that way about, like, Amandla Stenberg, I think her name is, who's playing Osha and May. She's great. Like, I think she's a star. I don't feel that way about Soul. Soul's great. Others, you know what? I think I am going to say this. This is a minor thing about the most recent episode, but I want to bring it up because it really annoyed me. The fact that Kel Naka, the Wookiee Jedi, never used his lightsaber. It's very annoying. I don't want Gungi to be the only Jedi that we like. I've been waiting to see that Wookiee swing that lightsaber, and it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened in the present tense, and it hasn't happened in the flashbacks. And I feel like we got to start paying attention to what I'm doing, because I don't feel like this is going well. Do I need to be paying attention? Or are we fine? Okay, I think we're fine. Also, Gungi and Kelnaka, they need to be added to the games. I like my Wookiee Jedis. I just need them acting like Wookiee Jedis. I feel like it's such a small ask and for us to have not seen it yet is absurd. Like, why even do it? We've seen him, like, fix a bike and throw a weapon of some sort. Throw an object. Yeah, but one of the things that I really need to see from Disney with these Disney Plus shows is to start making something that actually deserves to be a TV show. Like, out of everything that there's been, I would say WandaVision was a TV show. Andor is obviously a TV show. Loki is a TV show. It's a Captain America Winter Soldier that functions pretty well as a TV show, in Hawkeye, and Mando season 1. Almost, and no, maybe like a season and a half of Mando, but Mando season 3 is a movie. Book of Boba Fett is a movie. Moon Knight is a movie. Secret Invasion was a terrible, terrible movie. What are we doing here? Is this an Afra situation, or I guess I could probably just do Bane here. Because we're not testing on an Iden. But I am very much looking forward to episode 5 because of how things are being set up. All right, we AoE, we do a couple hits. How are we doing? I do need to now, though, watch Tales of the Empire, finish Bad Batch, finish Ahsoka. Like, I have not been great about watching a lot of this stuff. Oh, this thing. Yeah. Alright, that goes Stormtrooper. Let's auto. Maybe auto. Other thing I haven't done is I haven't finished watching House of the Dragon Season 1 because I didn't dislike it or anything. I just got distracted. Andor started is what happened. Alright, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have fun. I got Bo-Katan. I got Bodalore. I got Maul. I need to just upgrade the defense. If I'm finishing a match and I'm going to have Afra, Maul, Bodalore, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, like, this is way too much firepower for offense. What am I doing? Okay. Alright, we got Queen Amidala. These guys. Lumion Plo. Or do I want to bring in? I don't want to tank. I can't use a CRON. No, let's just do this. Alright, she's already on the field. So that's AoE. I guess I'm going after IG-11, or not, I probably should just take out Dash. Alright, yeah, AoEs are bad, and we lost POW. At least we got those bonus drops that are coming in a couple days, which... Is this gonna... Yeah, I want to get rid of that Daze. That Daze is just gonna shut down everything that we want to do. I definitely want to do the heal. I'm trying to get an extra heal over time on the board because it'll help us get max out the Queen's protection early. But yeah, nope. In terms of her relics, all right, let's just get out of here. This was not a useful test. I kind of feel like goofing off some more. Let's do Gungans. We're going to do Gungans because this is our last week of Gear 11 Gungans. I'm done now with the Phalanx farm. Finished it earlier today. And let's format it. Next week we'll be able to add relics and test out one of those CRONs. Alright, we're going to cleanse. We're going to do the AoE, try and get a stun. Lands a couple staggers. Okay, so what I've been doing is I've been swapping over to Boss Nass so that I can get debuffs down. Okay. Then we'll do this. And then I think I want to do shield up, right? Because is this the one that gives me more stacks? I think it's definitely this one. Okay, come on, just let me... No, there goes my generator. Alright, Dash is marked. We're gonna... Dash is gone. Should probably get rid of Bam. If I can. Like, you're just... Now that the generator's gone, this is all gonna fall apart. Those counters were very valuable. We're gonna go after Fennec just because of how the counters. Never mind. All right, we get more debuffs. Nest. We're just leaving for last. Yeah, let's go to Phalanx. Because do I have... Yeah, we can do shield up again on Phalanx. Oh my god, Bam. We really gotta get Bam out of here. Okay. Let's just auto, because from here it's just gonna get worse. Because they just lose all survivability at this level. Like at relics, maybe it'll function a little better. I mean, definitely with the Crons. But without Jar Jar, they're just... They're like the Inquisitors. Like how they were basically useless until you get Grand Inquisitor, where they're only okay, and then they get good with the addition of Third Sister. It's that kind of stuff. Is there anything fun we can do? You know what, let's just do Grievous testing. Because at least STAP is a newer character. And we do have the CRON. And most of them are raid characters. It's just... I mean, it is a better team with STAP and the Ami. I just feel like the difference is so marginal. Maybe at Relics I'll feel different, and we'll probably take him to Relics for the raid. But it's... yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, other than that, I've been watching some terrible nonsense. I had never seen the Alien vs. Predator movies. Now I have. And one thing that I will say that I was a little surprised by, not as bad as I thought they were going to be. They're bad movies, but I was expecting like an unwatchable bad, and there's just something about how movies, the standards that movies used to meet. Very few things are like unwatchable. How do I want to do this? Yeah, let's do Profundity. Okay. It was just really lazy and dumb and lame. It was super lame, but it wasn't terrible. Not in the way that I mean terrible. Like, to me, like, the Gray Man is terrible. That thing was almost nothing redeeming about that. Alright. That gets rid of CAD. Now what do we want to do? We're going to throw Chimera over at Marauder. That's straightforward. I'm going after Bosk right now because I knew we were going to land that protection disruption, and it was going to be good. Alright, we got Cass. Let's call in our assists. See how close we get. We don't. Alright, we're marked. I never use the wobble to get rid of marked, because almost always you're going to be recovering from the Y-wing, and then you can always just cleanse it on Cass's turn, because Cass's turn, other than the mass assist, is useless. So I use him to get rid of that marked. And then by attacking with Falcon, you do a little bit more damage. You have better odds at working towards progress towards the alt. All right. Now here, to Chimera. Because this fleet just crushes the Negotiator. And then we'll use my own Negotiator up against the Finalizer. Thinking. I think I just want to burn the Marauder quickly. So let's stun it. So it skips its turn. Now he's taunting. We heal up a bit. Maybe I should have taken turn meter. That's what I normally do. Alright, that's one on the Marauder. And now he's going to get Undying Loyalty. Maybe not. Maybe we can... No, this isn't going to be enough to take him out. It'll do damage. We can mark him at least. Oh, not Undying Loyalty? That right there is a mistake. I always consider this a mistake. What needs to... This shouldn't be a reinforcement. The Clone Sergeant. You need to be bringing out Plo. And you just leave Sergeant off. I throw Sergeant with the Raddus because I think the Raddus needs another tank. You know what? Let's just blow up this tank. Yep. Alright, that crushes that. Now Finalizer here. Let's Negotiator this. And then we'll be done. This should be... This guy's participation's all over the place, but he does look like somebody who gets discouraged if it's like a dominating performance. And other than the testing that we did, this was fairly dominating. That's why I felt comfortable that even dropping battles with the testing, it was... I don't think that's going to decide the match. I think he's going to drop plenty throughout. This is basic. Because the basic on this is more powerful. I should have some empty slots, because that's costing us banners. Alright. 1789, really? Feels low. For one-shotting everything except for the one squad we did some testing. I don't know, that feels low. We'll check back in, but I don't really expect changes, but just for the record, we'll throw it in. We can safely call it. He attacks, he's not going to clear me. Even if he could clear me, he's not going to be as efficient now because he's dropped enough battles. One shot the front was great. I didn't even realize I set down so many GLs. And up top here, he didn't even touch. And then back, well, this is why JMK is going to be on defense a lot while this CRON's active, unless you're prepared for it. Like, one of the better counters is Third Sister, and he's a player without Third Sister. So we have JMK locking it down, Trench taking 2, and had even gotten through JMK after Trench picking up those holds, I was going to win. But I expect a lot of the matches this week to be like this, because this is the type of bracket where I might be able to go 3-0. We're at least going to shoot for it. And then I think there's an update coming later in the game. I'm working on some methods videos and some list videos. The new account will start, kind of want to get through a work deadline first. So maybe next week we start the new account and start seeing what's going on with all these changes. But thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other. This still plays Galaxy of Heroes.